Well, one thing I can say is definitely going 13-3 is definitely better going than 9-7 the previous week. So every person and every team is looking for improvements, and the Packers won. So you know what? I'm living life, and we got another week of football. So let's get to the show.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now. About now. About now. About now.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your man Clubboy Bills. Welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports, where we obviously talk lots of sports, whether it be Wisconsin sports or not. Obviously, we're on to week 3 predictions already. It's just crazy to think about as it is, but I'm happy about it, and it's going to be crazy, another week of crazy football, that's for sure. 16 fun games, also a great Monday Night Football matchup, and a great Sunday Night Football matchup, as well as a lot of other good matchups. I mean, we saw last week, we saw some really good games, crazy things going on. Saw an unbelievable finish in that Thursday Night Football game last week, and that Sunday Night Football game last week. Bill, obviously, the Baltimore Ravens upsetting the Chiefs. That was a big deal. We also saw the Packers get their first win of the season against the Detroit Lions. Rodgers looked like himself. And some teams that you wouldn't believe that are 2-0 are 2-0, weirdly enough. So it's a crazy thing that this season is the way it is, but I'm all here for it. So anyways, we got another week of fun football to go over, so let's get to it. So starting things off, we have, for the Thursday Night Football matchup, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Houston Texans. Weirdly enough, tickets are as low as $18 for this game. That's weird, but I guess that's what ESPN says, so I'm just going to buy off it. So anyways, when I look at these two teams, Houston, Deshaun Watson has been holding out, and Tyrod Taylor was the starter, and he actually looked really good. So just unfortunate that he had to end up himself on IR, and that sucks because Houston, for the team, for not having an off season at all, and for whatever they could do, Tyrod Taylor has really stepped up, and now unfortunately that's a kind of a big blow to have him be put on IR. I don't know how long, but now it's up to rookie quarterback Davis Mills to try to get Houston some wins. Carolina, on the other hand, now they're 2-0. That's a little bit of a shocker. I did say they were going to win the first game, and I did think they were going to lose the second game to the Saints, but the old Jameis Winston showed up, and Carolina, Sam Darnold proved that he's not a bad quarterback. It really was the Jets are just a failure of a franchise. And I mean, it's only week 2. You can't not say that, but with that being said, I mean, I think Carolina does have the better team, and I'm not going to really put my trust in a rookie quarterback with not that much experience. So for what I'm going to say, I'm just going to say Carolina wins it because I feel like they're the more experienced team. And if Tyrod was available, I'd actually pick the Texans, but I'm not going to put my trust in a defense that really doesn't have many people and a rookie quarterback. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Carolina to start that off. Next up on Sundays for our noon games, we got a bunch of those. The Washington football team takes on the Buffalo Bills. Washington somehow just gets away with a win. The Giants basically choked their way. We saw it so many times. Daniel Jones had a 60-yard touchdown or something wiped away for a holding call. We saw a wide open receiver, I think that was Darius Slayton, dropped an easy touchdown. I think that would have been the go-ahead, really, because I think that would have changed everything. And then Washington misses the kick, and then their guy's offsides, and they get the win because of it. That's just a terrible way to lose. But Washington was lucky enough to be in this situation. On the Buffalo Bills, they demolished the Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen, I feel like I've seen better out of him, but I mean, it's only week 2, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on him. So, regardless, whatever happens. But I know the defense of Washington is really good. Buffalo, I think, it's going to be another one of those low-scoring games. I don't really think Allen's going to struggle, though, because he passes the ball nonstop, and they don't really run the ball, which is what really I think is a thing. But I think it's going to be really worked up. For what I believe, I think Buffalo should win this game. I mean, they're the Buffalo Bills. It's not going to really be much of a competition. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears, who barely almost choked against the Bengals, and taking on the Cleveland Browns, who might be without Baker Mayfield. We don't know what's happening. But Andy Dalton for sure is probably not going to play. Justin Fields, when the Chicago Bears were up by a lot of points, Fields really did not impress. I mean, I've seen better from him, but he just didn't really produce like I thought he was going. Like, he made a couple good throws, but I don't know, it's just, he's a rookie. I'm not going to be too hard on him, but I thought I'd see a little more. If you have a win, you should be able to have more motivation and, do that. Cleveland, on the other hand, and if this is a season that could be plagued with injuries for Cleveland, that's going to be a problem. I think Baker will play because he's a tough guy, and he obviously had that dislocated shoulder. He got popped back, and he somehow stayed in the game and was blocking with his non-dominant shoulder, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, really, just come in to do whatever. Chicago, I don't know if I'm really sold on them yet as a team. They don't really look that poised as a good offense. Defense is okay, but they've really kind of struggled. But I'm not going to do much, but I feel like I'm just going to go with the home team on this one and go with Cleveland. That's just how I feel, personally. Next up, we have... Okay, so Cleveland wins that game. I'm sorry, I should have said that. Clarified. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions. I think after Baltimore beat Kansas City, I think they really are going to have so much motivation coming into this next game. Detroit just does not have a defense, and I think this should just be an easy win for Lamar Jackson and company. So I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens. Even on the road, it's going to be tough. Next up, Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Carson Wentz, he apparently sprained both his ankles, so who knows if he's even going to start. And if he's not healthy, he's not even going to be, consistent. I mean, the Colts have a great defense. We all know that. But they got to face Tennessee, who came back unbelievably to beat Seattle, win a shocking game. With that being said, Tennessee Titans, I feel like, should win this game if Carson Wentz is available, because obviously I'm not going to trust a backup with no experience, because their backups, I think, are So they had Sam Ehlinger, but I think he's on IR for the rest of the year. I think he's out. So I think Eason Stick's the other guy, or Jacob Eason. I don't even know. I think it's Jacob Eason, or Eason Stick. I don't even know who it is, but they don't really have many guys that I can really trust other than Carson Wentz. I don't know. It's going to be tough, but I'll take the Tennessee Titans just because of that. Next up, LA Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chargers, on the other hand, they I don't know, I could see a lot better from them. They're 1-1, but Herbert, I feel like, will step up and have a great game against Kansas City, but I feel like Kansas City is going to take all their madness from choking out, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think, is going to try to do whatever he can to get them the win. That's just a tough way to lose, but I think Kansas City can come back from this one and win. Next up, New Orleans Saints versus New England Patriots. Love that matchup every year. What Jameis Winston are we going to see? Are we going to see the Jameis Winston that is really good, or the Jameis Winston that is really bad? That's just the same thing that we've been seeing for the last couple of times. New England, on the other hand, they have one of the best defenses in the league regardless. Mac Jones, they're 2-0 because, well, no, they're 1-1, but obviously Mac Jones got his first career win. I'm going to say New England wins this one again, being at home. I just think, With that being said, you just gotta see. I really want to see that, and I feel like Jameis Winston is going to struggle against a defense that good. So I'm assuming New England will win this. Next up, Atlanta at New York. Two teams that are just completely god awful. But New England, the New Jersey Giants, I think, are definitely a better team than the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta just did not really. They had an offense, but their defense is awful. I think the Giants really should have won last week, and I think they're just going to take the energy and they're going to win at home. Next up, Cincinnati Bungles, my mistake, at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh. I hate it when Pittsburgh wins because I just think they're so overrated. But I feel like they should win against the Bengals only because, the Bengals just have a terrible offensive line, and it's just been tough to really watch Burrow get sacked and throw 3 straight interceptions on drives against the Bears, and I don't even know what else to say. That's just not working out. So can't really say much, but I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. I just think Cincinnati just still needs time. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at Jacksonville Jaguars. If Kyler Murray continues his success, this should be an easy win. No offense to Trevor Lawrence, but this is just going to be a rough season to start off. Urban Meyer is not a good NFL coach. I think he's better off doing college, and this is just going to be another awful season for Jacksonville. I apologize for any Jacksonville fans out there that are watching this. Kyler Murray just is looking like he could be the MVP this year as what I've seen so far. So I'm going to take Arizona. All right, we got some 3 o'clock games. First off, we got the New Jersey Jets versus the Denver Broncos. The Jets, they're awful. Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions against New England. That's just awful. That just shows the Jets even got worse this year. And I get they're trying to rebuild, but it's just not going to change. And Denver being 2-0, I think, getting Teddy Bridgewater, I think, was a big deal. I think Bridgewater is definitely better than Drew Lock, and with that being said, I'm going to take Denver winning this one. It just seems to be that's the most reasonable thing. Next up, Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are 2-0, as I said they were going to be. I said they were going to beat the Ravens, and I said they were going to beat the Steelers, and they did. Miami is without Tua for probably a couple weeks. He'll be on IR. He broke his ribs. Jacoby Brissett is starting. I'm not really sold on. He's okay. He's decent, but I don't think that's going to really do much for Miami. Las Vegas, if continuing their success, their offense, they really do have a good offense in my opinion. If Las Vegas continues that success, I really see them being 3-0, and that's a crazy thing to ever. I never thought Las Vegas was going to start the season 3-0, but here we are. That's where I'm picking. Next up, I assume this is going to be the game of the week on Fox. Tampa Bay versus LA Rams. I think those two are the teams to beat right now in the NFC. Right now, if I had to pick, Tampa Bay and LA, I think, are the best teams right now. But I don't know who one of the two is going to win, and one of the teams is going to lose. Tom Brady looks like his old self, and it's like you're looking at Tom Brady and you're like, does this dude ever stop? He don't stop. He still goes, and he's not slowing down. Matthew Stafford, on the other hand, has really looked impressive with the Rams. I really want to see the Rams get a win here. So, believe it or not, I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams upsetting Tampa Bay. I just have that feeling. Next up, Seattle Seahawks at Minnesota Vikings. Seattle has nonstop beating Minnesota the last couple of years. We've seen that, and Seattle always seems to beat Minnesota. We always see that matchup go on, and it's a great matchup. It always goes down to the wire, and Seattle always comes out on top. But the difference is, it's always been in Seattle. This time, they're playing in Minnesota. That's a whole different view. It's a different crowd and a different vibe. So Minnesota should have beat Seattle, but Seattle just keeps on coming through. Last time Seattle had a game-winning touchdown pass on 4th down to DK Metcalf. Crazy stuff happens. But this time, I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. They really should have won last week. They didn't. Minnesota, I think, has a top offense. I say that they're going to get their revenge, and they are going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to win and get that upset. And then Sunday Night Football, we got the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers, a team that just seemingly beats the Packers all the time because their run game is nonstop. But the problem is, who's their running back? None of their guys are deemed healthy right now, which is a huge concern. You already lost Mostert for the year. Then Elijah Mitchell. Who their undrafted rookie, was really doing a lot. Trey Sermon was supposed to be the next guy up, but he hasn't really done much, and I don't think they're going to start him. And then JaMychal Hasty is just a guy that can really get injured all the time. Right now, they're looking at a guy off the practice squad that I've never even heard of. So their running back situation is bad. Green Bay, as much as they would have liked to be 2-0 to start the season, they're not, which I think is a huge issue. I feel like being on the road is going to be a tough thing. I feel like, this is going to be I feel like this game will be closer because San Francisco is not the same team they were 2 years ago. They did lose a lot of people, and in their run game, I think is going to be a little bit dimmer than what it was. But I'm still picking the 49ers to win this game only because we just don't win in that stadium, and they still have the grudge on us. So I don't know. I just still see that. But if the Packers are somehow able to win, that'd be a huge deal for the Packers. And then finally, Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. Philly, I'm not really sold on them. Dallas, I think, really should win this game. I thought they were going to lose last week, but they did. But I picked them to win, but I was thinking they were going to still lose. But they somehow were able to pull it out. I expected a better game from Dak. I really do. So that being said, I'm going to take Dallas just for that one solid reason. So that's that. If you like what you saw, comment below, subscribe, share, and like what you saw, and put a notification bell on. And as always, stay safe, be smart, and we'll see you next time. Go Pack.